Well, here we are again. I'm trying to make a video here of what's happening around the world. Our world is in a terrible state at the moment due to politicians ruining it. It's not the people get on well with each other. We have wars in Afghanistan, Iraq, and also Africa, Libya, riots in Cairo and all these other places. I've been to all these places before, nice places. It's not the people. The people just like to have a good living, have a good life, enjoy the families. But what's happening? We're now just coming out the common market also. That might be a good thing. We need to close our borders. We need to look after our own countries like America and Britain. Britain's in a terrible state at the moment. We have no industry. Our health industry, the hospitals, they need money. Our armed services need money. The police force need money. We need these institutes for jobs. The police, nobody likes the police, but they're there for our safety and our security. They're there to stop people doing wrong against others who are weaker. They're there to support us, same as the army. They don't like to fight, but the thing is, the army, they're there to protect our borders, our people, our country, from foreign invaders. So therefore we need to make them strong in our own country. And this is the way we should start making things. I want to start up a new party called the People's Party. And my email address is on there, burnmidnightoil@gmail.com, and my name is Colin Ogilvie. And this is the way I'd make Britain great. First of all, I do away with the taxation system. Do away with the taxation system, so what a man earns, he takes home. Do away with the taxation system, so that the multimillionaires can bring money into our country to put it into industry, so that it gives our children coming out of school and coming up an opportunity to go from school to a job to have a good life. At the moment, there is no industry. It's all gone to China and Asia and other countries. This is not good. If we do this, it will help to make our country stronger. We need to do away with the taxation system on our homes, or our land tax, death duties, and all this other thing. It's a disgrace. And what do? The British people don't mind paying taxes, but the problem is our money is going abroad. It's going to Africa and different other countries, which are putting that money into their own pockets. We can see this with other foreign countries. I don't need to name them, we all know who they are. We're sending money, because we're in the European Union, we send $15 billion, went to Greece, and now they want more. If they gave everybody in Greece €1 million, that would solve the problems. But where's this money gone to? Robin Cook many years ago sent £37.5 million over to Zimbabwe. The money went missing. I think you and I, who are watching this, would like to have £37.5 million put into our bank account from the British government. But that's our taxpayers' money. We have to stop giving money around the world to these countries that don't need it. We give money to India. They just put a rocket up into the sky. How much? It costs billions of dollars and pounds to put that rocket into outer space. So why are we sending them money? We need it into our countries, for our health service, for our police, for our armed services, that need to be replenished. That gives jobs and skills to the people that go into the armed services. We need it for our hospitals. Now, if people are go into the Army, Navy and Air Force, and as you get older, allow these people to have, say, like a large community, so that if you're in the Army, when you get older, you don't need to sell your house. The Army, the Navy and the Air Force will look after you. It helps those people who are coming up and going into the Army, gives them skills for being nursings and in the Air Force and everything else. We don't like to go to war, but it's just giving jobs and that to people to start getting us back strong again. At the moment, we have a lot of immigrants in our country. I don't mind immigrants, and neither do all the Brits. If we did, they would be in our country now. We don't mind. We like to see immigrants. I like to see the cultures of all different countries. I've been to Saudi, India, Africa, all over Europe, everywhere else. I've worked in these countries. I know these people. They're very good people. They enjoy their own lives. They like their own cultures. But Britain has their own culture. We must keep our country as a Christianity. We're not, even our schools are now teaching something entirely different. This is wrong. We are losing our identity. Our island cannot sustain all these people coming to our country. Now what we need to do is to think about Syria. The people come from Syrian war-torn countries, from their regimes. They should go to Africa. Africa has got vast, wide open spaces like South Sudan. There's plenty of water there, plenty of land, good agriculture there. They can start up their own communities and have their own safe ways. And start their own people with their own people, their own leaders. Get rid of the people from Syria. If the president of Syria wants to stay there, then hey, just let him stay there by himself. It's a terrible, disgusting state of Syria and Afghanistan there. You're not going to beat the Mujahideen anyway. They've been there since the 1700s. The Russians have been there. You can't beat them. And the very fact is that we keep on complaining about all these terrorists coming to our country. We have to think, if Pakistanis, just for example, come to our countries, and they invade our countries, and they bomb our families, and kill our families, what do? I, for a start, will pick up a gun and go and shoot them. Now I'm a terrorist. So we have to look at the other side of the coin, apart from keep on condemning these people. We have to look at what's going on. We have created ISIS ourselves by the special forces people from Iraq. They are training those people. But when you look at ISIS, where are they getting all the new uniforms from? Where are they getting all the new guns from? All the new vehicles? We have to ask ourselves these questions. Now, like I said, coming out of the EU is a good thing. We need to start getting our country back onto its own feet. New industry. We need to start doing our own cranes, our own heavy equipment, our own cars, our own clothing, our own shoes and everything else in there. We do have some nice places there in Northampton for shoes and everywhere else, and it needs to be increased. We don't need to keep buying things from China. We're not sending anything to China. We need to stop it. The most important person in this world today is a long-distance lorry driver. He is the one, if he goes on strike, the country gets devastated, because he brings the goods to our factories and to our shops so we can buy them. Now, if we don't have the money, we can't afford to keep on buying clothes and everything else there from China and everything else. We need just that money for our food. So therefore, I propose this. If I was Prime Minister of England, I'd do away with the taxation system. Like I said, and what a man earns, he takes home. The multimillionaires who come into our country, they can put it into industry and make it great for the people, our kids coming out of school and have some jobs. And secondly, we could do away with the land taxes, death duties, all this council taxes and everything else in there. We have our lottery. That can help to pay for a lot of these things, help to pay for our health industry. Instead of keep spending money over to Greece and Spain and Belgium and everywhere else there, helping their countries, their people, but what's happening to us? Nothing. England is becoming very, very bad and down in the doldrums. We are not a great nation the way we used to be. We need to bring that country back and make it good. Again, with our cars, they've got the SORNs and we've got the taxes and the everything else there. If I was in power, I'd allow the people to say, for one day, you pay £1 that covers you for tax and insurance that the government will run. You can still have your own industry, your own insurance companies if you want. But the government will run a scheme, so you pay £1 a day. That is for every vehicle. Even a bicycle, you could charge 25 cents for if you're going to use it. Because then if you don't use it, you don't pay for it. So therefore, if your car's stuck up for a week, you don't need to pay for it. But you bring that for one day, you go down to the local meter the day beforehand, excuse me, and then you buy a ticket, so you do for a car park ticket. That way, it brings money into the country to be able to pay for the roads and everything else there. We don't need toll roads and everything else there, spending our money for the Dartford Tunnel. This money should be able to come out from there, and we should use the money that we're spending on going to war in our country for our people, for our armed forces, for the police and the health services. Now, if we do this, this will help for a start to get our country back into the red, into the black again. Sorry. So again, we need to keep the sea, the land, the air. We need to look at this environment. At the moment, the sea is polluted. The land, we've got these landfills, and we're not doing enough recycling. People are throwing things out of the car, rubbish along the road and everything. It needs to be stopped. We have to stop these things here. We have to do something to keep this country clean. Look after the environment. We're not doing it. There's no future for the youngsters coming here. We are just passing through this earth. We don't have the right to keep on taking everything. Our wildlife is being depleted. There's hardly any birds around. They've all been poisoned by chemicals and everything else there. What on earth are we doing? We are just destroying ourselves. Man at the moment is the worst animal on this planet. What are we thinking about? Look at the devastation around the world. You can't go anywhere you can't go anywhere which is safe. North Korea, you can't go there. You can't go to South Korea. You can't really go to India. You can't go to Afghanistan. You can't go to Syria. You can't go to Lebanon. You can't go to anywhere else there that you might like to go, which was nice places years ago where industry thrived. You can't go to Cairo. You can't go to see the Red Sea. You can't go to all these other places. Africa, you can't go there. Because all these governments have got so much corruption there, it's just ruining it all. They're bringing in all these terrorists and everything else. It's an absolute disgrace that these governments are not looking after their own people. Now, as regards to again with the immigrants, take them to Africa. Africa is empty. There's vast areas, say like South Sudan, that's got loads of water there. They can make farming and agriculture and cows and sheep and whatever you need to do. It's nice and warm and hot, the same as Syria, but it's a different climate. It's nice that you start up your own industries, your own ways. You don't need to come to England. We can't sustain you. You can't sustain them in America either. America's given out too many. America, for example, is giving billions of dollars to Haiti, and the place is a rubbish tip. That place should be a thriving industry now. All the houses and the homes and the industries should have been more built up with all the money they've had. The United Nations are going there. It's a disgrace for the United Nations, the way they're spending money and putting it into foreign bank accounts. They're not doing anything for the people of those countries we send money to. Charities are a disgrace. If you ask a charity to publish their accounts, that's what they need to do. You need to know where that money is going to. I'll give an example. Like I said, I was in Sudan, and I was doing some special operations work down there, and I'm telling you this now. £36 million is given to Sudan every year for food supplies. I was the only one down there doing food supplies and bringing on rebel soldiers and everybody else back who had been shot. I was there. Then there's nobody else who's doing this work. So I asked the question, where is this money going to? Have I got an answer back? No. Because I'll tell you this now, they're not doing anything. I was down there, there was a hangar full of food there, and the people there, I didn't see one starving person. And when I went to remote areas into the South Sudan, the people there, the kids had school uniforms on. There wasn't one starving. And I was giving them all food. Okay, I was supplying them food. But this is supposed to be a disaster relief thing, which millions and millions of dollars are going from our country to these places. and the money's not being distributed to the people. It's going into foreign politicians' bank accounts so they can buy Ferraris and everything else. It's an absolute disgrace. The same in Nigeria. They've got oil, they've got a lot of industry there, but they're not helping their people enough. And the same as all these other places. The west coast of Africa got gold, diamond, uranium, oil. You know, and we're sending money to these places. Are we out of our minds? We need to look after our people in our own countries for once. Look after our own people first, and then afterwards help the others. Their own people have to look after their own people. We can't keep on bringing immigrants from Africa, from Syria, from the Middle East, from anywhere, Hong Kong, wherever else there, because our island is small. We're sinking with all the weight of the people in the islands. We can't do it. Again, we must start our own industry back up there to give our children the opportunity to be able to have a good lifestyle. At the moment, everybody is struggling. Crime will be on the increase because the reason why is that people don't have the money and they need money for food. And if they don't have money for food, they're going to go out and rob. If they go out and rob, they're going to be desperate people. This is what the answer is. You can't keep on sustaining. You've got to give people jobs so they have money in their pocket. So they don't need to go down to the road and start thieving and killing and shooting people for money. And this is what we need to do. We have to change it. The reason now that people have made it an opportunity to come out the common market. We can still do business with the common market. We can still do business with China, with Hong Kong, America, or any other country that want to sell us our products. But they must buy our products in the same way. Or we can buy products for them. So like leather goods from Brazil or somewhere. We can buy spices from the Middle East, but they need to buy our, say, heavy equipment, like our tractors, JCBs and everything else. Not make them in India. This is wrong. I bought an airline ticket, I called a London number, and a woman in India took my money off my credit card and supplied me the ticket. Now, do you think that's right? Because I don't. I think it's an absolute disgrace that I can't have somebody in England, in a shop in England, paying taxes, earning money, giving them jobs to buy the things that they want, when I'm giving money to an Indian person. That is not right. It's wrong. As regards to Boris Johnson, that man is American. How did he become a mayor of London? He is an American citizen. He doesn't have the right to be able to come into Britain and do this. Now he wants to try and run as Prime Minister? Are we out of our minds, or what are we doing? You know, I need to come over to England, and I need the support of you, the British people, to make me Prime Minister of England and make this place good and great for once. If not, if you don't do it, if you don't get somebody with some guts and somebody who's been there and done it and got the t-shirts, then I'll tell you what, Britain will just go down the drain dramatically. And in the next 10 years, if you don't do something to change it now, I'm sorry to say, there's no future for Britain anymore. The great in Britain will not be great anymore. It won't be Great Britain, it'll be Asian Britain. And there won't be anything there. It'll just be like the rest of the world, a complete dump. Now, like I said, now's the opportunity, this year, to be able to make some changes. You've got my email address there. Email me, and if you can support me, I will stand up to look after you, the people, once and for all. Get some Prime Minister who's got the guts and the audacity to stand up there and do something for the people. Because at the moment, we don't have a leader. I thought Paddy was going to be Prime Minister and do something for us. And we had Cameron, we had Harold Wilson. These people are not leaders. They absolutely devastated our country and made them terrible. So again, give me the opportunity to stand up and be again Prime Minister of Britain, who will make this country great. I will increase and make the police service good, the armed services good, do away with the taxation system. Our health service will be really good, and like I said, no man will ever lose his home to a bank or to a mortgage company ever again. This country will be a great country, and for also our old age pensioners will be looked after. They will not have to sell their homes to be able to be cared for. We will supply the people to be able to care for them, to help them, because they made our country great, and that's what we need to do. And if you've got the guts to stand up there, and like I have, and do something about it, then give me the chance to do it. I'm a pilot, I like flying, and to become a Prime Minister, a second-rate job, but I do it to come back to help you, the people of Britain. Let's do it. Let's make a change to Britain once and for all, get rid of these jerks that are in Parliament at the moment. Because I'll tell you this now, they've done nothing for you and they've done nothing for me. So now's the opportunity, I leave it to you. Adios.